you're both New York City guys, but
Yeah.
very different parts of New York City.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Colin is from Staten Island,
right.
and I'm from the
Thanks,
projects. So it's two different
Or-
corners of the world.
Yeah.
There were more woos for the projects than for Staten Island, I just want to point out.
We obviously we share a history at SNL now of being Weekend Update anchors. You guys now we share something else. You guys were promoted to co-head writers earlier this year.
Yeah.
Congratulations. How have you found it so far?
I mean, as you know, you're basically doing the job already before you get the job.
Right, they don't give it to you unless you can do it.
Right.
Yeah, they're not like, here's some scripts, just see what happens. But it's basically the same job you're already doing, but you have maybe like 10 times the stress.
Yeah.
Like way more anxiety, but you can't do any more work than you're already doing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, it's like planning someone else's wedding. Constantly planning. If you mess it up, they're very mad at you.
you're planning Lauren's wedding.
Yeah.
every week.
Well, I texted you congratulations, and then you didn't write back, and I saw you at a party, and I said, hey, is your phone number the same? You're like, I don't even know how to feel about it yet.
Well, it's a tough situation now because I got a lot of friends that work in comedy, and they're always like, hey, man, could you help me get on SNL? And I'm always like, yeah, I don't got no power there. And now I'm head writer. I got to like tell them, hey, it's because I don't believe in you. Not going to help you for that reason only.
One of the things you have to balance, sometimes it's just too late when news breaks late on Saturday to write a sketch, obviously. But on Update, you can get a joke in every now and then. This Trump administration, I feel like, already famous for late-breaking news. Have you guys had to squeeze stuff into Update?
Yeah, he keeps it exciting.
Yeah, he's like, it's like being on Chopped. You ever watch that show, Chopped? Where it's just like a new ingredient for no reason. You're like, all right, now I gotta figure out
How to put sriracha on my pizza? Yeah.
sriracha for the dessert round. Okay, I guess.
Did you guys, with the Hawaii disaster, I mean, not disaster, but
Yeah.
of the fake missile alert or false?
It's a disaster among, husbands and wives who thought it was happening, said something horrible. And they were like, take me back. But it happened like right
There's a lot of apology notes.
we were on, it happened like a couple hours before we were on, and we were talking about doing like a fake emergency alert on the show, like missile heading to New York. Yeah, and then we were like, well, I think that it's actually illegal because we're live and it's the news. And then we were like, maybe we shouldn't. We realized we had more restraint than the people running the actual agency.
Right.
We're like, maybe this is crazy.
Yeah, somebody just like pushed the button
Yeah.
by accident. Like, it should be way harder to do that, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you have to like two people turn a key at the same time
Yeah.
before you?
If you try to
that's
print
the
something in
thing.
Microsoft Word, it's like, don't you want to spell check it?
Yeah. Did you mean?
But now, I think that's the mistake is now movies are ahead of real life.
Yeah.
That every movie, everything had to be two keys, and now we're like, wait, we're literally a finger everywhere.
It's like we don't watch these movies that tell us about the future. That's why I'm not. It's like I won't buy a sex robot for that reason, because I know it's probably gonna try to kill me. And it's
That's the why.
Really thought it through.
Yeah.
Really thought it through.
This isn't on TV, is it?
Not all of it, obviously.
We're going to get one sent. 'cause
You,
mentioned
last week,
it.
right.
We get free stuff all the time if we just mention a product.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to subtly just mention products to get it sent to me for free.
Oh.
So I'll let you know if I get a sex robot or not.
I feel like
We've been doing the worst ones because I mentioned a Kia Sorrento the other day, so I'm like, and then he mentioned Gas X on the show, and they immediately sent him a bunch of Gas X. So it's like,
Yeah, I mentioned Lululemon in the sketch where I played a liberal white woman.
yeah.
And they sent me a bunch of Lululemon clothes. And now I got to explain that to my family.
I want to talk. You played Gretchen, a white liberal. And how much makeup were you in to transform into a white woman?
I tried to go as method as I could with as much makeup as possible.
yeah.
Really unrecognizable. I won't tell the people watching at home which one Che is, but he's one of those three white women. When the Stormy Daniels story happened, when that broke, the crazy thing was the last time Donald Trump was on the show, he was in a sketch with Vanessa and Cecily, who were playing porn stars.
Yeah.
True.
Did that occur to you as quickly as it occurred to me?
Yes, about instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, because in the sketch at the end of it, he turns to Cecily and he says, "Didn't you used to be a brunette?" And you're like, he's not gonna ever say that, and then he said it. And then literally right after it says it, it cuts to Donald Trump for president 2016. It was insane.
So you guys have a theory that people are actually jealous of Trump, which not a lot of people talk about.
I like that you said it as though this is our known theory.
Well,
We have this theory.
yeah.
I wouldn't say jealous. I just think they're waiting for that other shoe to drop where he gets his comeuppance.
Yeah.
But it just seems to keep getting better and better for him.
Yeah.
And it's driving people nuts. Like, a medical report comes out about him, like he's 239 and he can live till he's 100 years old. And you're like, how is that possible?
People are basically just really angry at him that he has great genes.
Yeah.
They're like, he could just eat this from McDonald's 5
And he
times a day.
does.
It's
His
fine.
parents live to be very
Yeah, he's
old.
definitely going to be 90.
Yeah,
Like, there's no- at
90
least.
at the minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory that we are going to have tiny robots inside us and we'll live to 250, but that's not what this is about. We'll talk about
Somebody's
that
going to
later.
get some tiny robots sent to them.
Sent inside
Oh,
them.
no.